Hello, sports fans! My name is Brian, and I'm back chronicling my FM22 save trying to take Salisbury from the 7th tier in English football up to the Premiership and beyond. I had a viewer ask how I managed to get Salisbury and the rest of the 7th tier into the game, so I thought I'd take a brief moment to show that. If you acquire the game through Steam, then you go into the Steam Workshop for the game and search for database extensions for a variety of leagues, as well as downloadable tactics, name fixes, face packs, and much more, as you can see here on the left side of the screen. I subscribe to the one you can see without a pretty logo here in the lower right, and that's all you do in the workshop. Then, when you go to start your new game, you click the database selection button in the top right, and you'll get a drop down like the one you can see here on the right. And you simply check the box or boxes to enable your downloads, and it goes through the regular start of game process. If you've acquired Football Manager 22 through Game Pass or Epic or some other source, I do believe you can do these things, perhaps even manually, but you'll have to find a different video to help you if that's the case. I have 1.5 name corrections for the week. First, I'd likely been mispronouncing Ali Al-Hamadi as Ali Al-Hamidi, just botching the second vowel in the last name. I caught myself on that one, but apologies. And I had another viewer get in touch and tell me I was off with the goalkeeper's name. And I thought to myself, that's probably fair. I was probably hitting the P on the end a bit too hard. And then they dropped the bomb that his name should be pronounced Beecham. Beecham. And I believe him. You know, the Norman and other French invasions, linguistic drift, etc., etc. But if I've met someone in America with that last name, I would suspect they would want the French pronunciation 100 times out of 100, or at least an American attempt at it. That is to say, sorry, Beecham, I'm going to be lazy and American, and you will forever be Beauchamp in my heart. So, more fun. It turns out the first commentator I mentioned is actually Sam Ashton, one of the strikers from Salisbury. Hi, Sam. He's my new best friend, and after he sees this video and how I've been an awful American and gutted the team, I'm not sure we'll be friends any longer. The only members of the current roster who started the previous year with the team are Devin Arnold and Beauchamp. Some of the players on the current team were with us all of last year as we had to rebuild the limited defense the database provided us, Bradley Green and O'Sullivan, and several more were mid to late season acquisitions, but there's already not much left in terms of the real Salisbury FC on the roster. Mostly, it was contract issues. I would have loved to bring back some of the players, but not at the prices they would demand in game. Sam would have been one of them, as he was a useful rotational striker for me. But unfortunately, he was on an actual contract, as small as it was. I was able to find a striker who has given us roughly similar performance on a pay-per-appearance contract, and another who was a free loan from Dagon Red. If sentimentality ruled the day, Dan Fitchett would have been brought back, as he's a bit of a legend, and the only member of the current team who is also part of my Salisbury City FC save in Football Manager 2012. So Sam, I hope you can forgive me, and keep watching. Tell the lads. Or at least Devin and Marcus. As for how we've done this year, we started off the year with this largely new squad going very, very well. 14-1 over our first 15 league and cup games. And then things started to turn. A loss to third place Taunton, and a draw with currently fourth place Dorchester, turned into consecutive losses in the FA Youth Cup, FA Cup, and FA Trophy. We rallied for 4 more straight wins to strengthen our hold on the top of the Southern Premier South, but the calendar turned over to December, and with it came losses to Scarborough Athletic, Beaconsfield, Hendon, and Gosport. And in each of those losses, we had superior XG to our opponents, but dreadfully non-clinical finishing cost us each and every single time. We've stabilized a little since then with a cup win and a draw in league play, but we've slipped to second in the league, 6 points back of South Shields in first, and only 2 points clear of a tie that extends all the way from 3rd to 7th. So we really need to get back to our winning ways, and hopefully that'll start with this match, the 21st match of the year, the last of the first half of the year, against our old rivals, Hayes and Yetting. So let's take it to the match. We will abide by Callum Hart's technical opposition instructions. Callum Hart, the assistant manager, was also on that Salisbury City FM 2012 team. He's evaluating shoot on sight, and I think that's been a problem as players are taking too many bad shots from outside. So we will ignore that and move on to team selection. We've tried to simplify Arnold's duties, as for a while there we had him as an advanced forward, but I think that was asking too much of him. And we will be running out this lineup. Cranston being the newest acquisition. A very flexible player who can play on the left side or in the middle. And we'll submit that team. And head to the match. Let's tell the defenders to get crazy. But, maybe not too crazy. We are second in the league in fouls. We are an aggressive side when it comes to that. Cranston plays it back to Bradley Green. Brings it up, plays it forward to Arnold. Unfortunately intercepted by their center back, so they play it back. Arnold dispossesses, out to Arthurs on the side, steps past. Their back, plays back to Hickman into the center. Header, Al-Hamadi. Over the top. We see a lot of those. Way too many. We just need our guys to get their headers down. Hickman will take the corner, sends it in. Not a good attempt. Get recycled out. Luckily we have men there. Lynn back out to Hickman. Play it in Arnold. There we go, Devin. 22nd goal of the year. As previously mentioned, that does include some of the goals from the promotion playoff, so it isn't just 22 during this year. But it's altogether a very solid performance. Hayes and Yetting are not near the top of the table this year. They are very mid-table, so despite their success last year, clearly they've lost some key parts and have slipped down the standings. And we obviously hope to take advantage of it. Arnold using his pace there to get a free and doing what he's done a lot of, unfortunately, in recent games, putting it right at the goalkeeper. Went out for that corner that we didn't convert, but hey, 1-0 lead. It doesn't look like Hayes and Yetting has really put a shot on target yet in the first 15. Their right back looks to have picked up a yellow card, so that's maybe not something they celebrate, but certainly helpful. Arnold will head it, and Arthurs will take it on the sideline. Can't get the edge, so plays back to Hickman, who plays it all the way forward to Arnold. He's got a step. Can he find Al-Hamadi? No. Finds Arthurs back, up to Al-Hamadi, and right to the keeper. There's just a whole lot of net that we got to use, and not just the part right behind the goalkeeper. Lynn dispossesses their man. Al-Hamadi plays it forward to Arnold. He's got a step. Can he create something here? Nope. Right into the keeper's hands. But hey, deflects out. Another shot from corner. Pings around the box a bit. Recycled out to Hickman. And then around to Lynn. Lynn fires. And out the side. We have at least two guys already on yellow cards. So I'm thinking we're set to tackle harder right now. And we will look to probably take that off. Arthurs flops to try and get a call for a penalty. Understandable. It's very high percentage play. Obviously doesn't get whistled there. It did look like a bit of a flop. I'm sorry, Arthurs. Forster will get on his feet. Can't get the edge. Play it back. Cycle it around. Cranston up to Al-Hamadi. And then, as usual, just trying to bomb it forward to Arnold. This is not my... Well, it's looking like the official thought that Norval Williams caught Arnold in the back of his heel while he was in the box. That's just a prime example, of my opinion, of a very soft foul that just... Penalties are too valuable. They're too good. There's got to be some middle ground. You can move the spot back, and I know that would be a change from the history of the sport, but for degrees of foul, Al-Hamadi slots it home, and we have a 2-0 lead. Hayes and Yetting still doesn't have any attempts, and we have an XG of 2.3. I'm much happier with our conversion rate this year. This game. Hickman from way outside beams it off the bar, and they clear it out. Take it back to the corner. One thing is I've adjusted my, and that is a goal for Ali Al-Hamadi. I was just about to say, I've adjusted my corner taking from targeting solely the near post where Bradley Green lurks to giving it an option, because Al-Hamadi is 6'1", 6'2", and has good jumping reach and heading on the far post. So I now give the corner taker an option between the two, and I feel like we hadn't been getting as much production, but that just proved me wrong. Arnold on the breakaway, too deep. Can he find someone? Arthurs squanders a good chance, but hey, 3-0 lead. We can be happy with it. We don't need to turn into a yelling monster that I was off camera, off microphone, anyways. During the previous games where we just had that sea of 1-2 defeats. Yeah, we'll see if we can take it to halftime without picking up any other yellow cards before moving our aggression level down a little, as one of the few things that could probably give us problems is one of our players getting sent off. I really don't like how our defensive midfielder did not close down on the man with the ball there. The center backs had responsibilities. That's why we have a defensive midfielder, is to try and pick up someone with the ball in that sort of circumstances, and Lynn did not do a good job of it. It's one of the downsides of that position in this formation is just trying to find a player who can offer you something. Too often it's just kind of an extra guy. They're in the right spot on the field where I want them, but they just don't do anything great. Alright, we'll go into tactics, out of possession, and we will take off get stuck in. I don't want to pick up any more cards, even though it's only 2. Wet conditions, we've got a lead. Back to the dressing room. I'm happy. They're happy. They're inspired and motivated. The bench is all complacent. Whatever. They better be ready when it's time to call them in. And let's start the second half with Hayes and Yetting in possession. Loose pass, we intercept. Forrester plays it ahead. Arnold can't get there because it's played too far ahead. And let's take time to look at the pretty visualizer. Shot map, all very productive. Good shots close in. Their shot map, they've had a few now, but not many. Cranston to Lynn, plays back to Dickinson. We have put in a loan for our Arthurs off the bar. Al-Hamadi with his hat trick. Well, who knew I just needed to record a new video for us to actually turn around and get out of this funk? If that's all I needed to do, I would have done it much sooner. As I was saying, I don't really have any depth behind Bradley Green and Dickinson at center back, and so I believe I can get my loanee from last year, Egan, back. This time I think he's at Shelbourne in the Irish League, and that would be good to get him back to help provide some depth. O'Sullivan can play there, but O'Sullivan's been having a bad year. And he has already signed to join an Irish team come the end of the year. We will go ahead and swap in a couple of players, giving our guys some breaks as we are headed into a busy part of the schedule with games on the weekend, midweek, and the weekend again for, I believe, the next 2 weeks. And hey, Connor Cullen, our per appearance rotational striker, takes advantage of the opportunity. Just a minute onto the pitch. Might have been complacent at halftime, but wasn't complacent when given that opportunity. And we will turn it into a 5-0 lead. Trying to keep an eye on all the scores around the league. Kings Langsley, who we just drew with, I believe, in our last game, and who are part of that 3rd through 7th chunk, are winning. Unfortunately, there's so many teams there. I don't know them all. South Shields are the team we're trailing. They're up 3-1 right now, so we will not make up any ground on them, unfortunately, other than in goal differential. But we will just kind of grind out the last minutes of this game. Hope there's no injuries. Hope no one gets sent off doing anything silly. This is one of those goofy circumstances where technically a goal might help us, as a few of our defensive players have shutout bonuses built into their contract. So if Hazen Yetting scored a goal, it might save us $200. And when we're managing at this level, as we were talking about with contracts, every dollar can matter. Unfortunately, Beauchamp denies us the savings. We do have Arnold already signed for next year as well as I believe Bradley Green. We'll have to think about who else who is currently on the team we believe can play at the next level. We've already lost O'Sullivan for next year, though, again, he didn't start, or he's just a rotational piece now. He's been struggling this year. Compliment the boys. Everyone's happy, and hopefully this turn things around for the second half of the year. We get into an easy part of the schedule until we play South Shields again, and cruise to, at very least, the promotion playoff, since there is no difference in the promotion playoff between first and third in the standings here. Obviously, we'd love to win the league, but I will take any of the three places that get us into the promotion playoff and get us up into the Vanarama National League South for next year. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment or do any of the usual liking and subscribing that you're supposed to do to professional YouTubers. Obviously, I have no ambition of this becoming a full-time gig, but I do like to see the feedback. Thank you very much for your time. Have a nice day.